Good evening, guys. I hope you can hear me. Yes, I think you will be able to. I can see the little bubble bubbling. Let me just do that. Let me do that. Right, I have no clue where where we got up to with the videos, because I was using something different and that's gone at the moment. So I'm going to take it from probably number 2. We'll go with this one. Let me just make that bigger on the screen. Maybe not. And I haven't got my mouse pad with me, which will be right annoying for some people. Let's make it a bit smaller and then let's come back. Just make sure that looks okay. Wait, come on, where are you? Mouse. Hi guys. Hang on, give me a minute. Honestly. We'll go with that one. I'll share that one. Wait, hopefully. Why has that gone small?
This is how I use the Google Pixel 9 to capture my adventures.
Want to, yes.
We're going back to the beginning.
Press star 9 0 2 1 after this message. Press 1 to place a. Please enter your PIN number followed by the pound sign.
I figured it'd be better to start from here
Please
and miss anything.
United States of America.
Courtesy of Gavin Fish.
United States of America.
You have 1 old.
Mind you, these are a
message.
lot clearer.
To listen to your messages, please return to the main menu. Press 0 to make a for calls within the United States, Canada, and the Caribbean. Please enter the area code prefix.
I'm just here today. Just trying to sort some things out.
And 20 cents. The cost of this call will be 21 cents for the first minute and 21 cents for each additional minute, excluding taxes and other applicable fees. The time limit is 15 minutes.
Press 0 to continue or 1 to hear additional cost information.
Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from
Stephan Stearns.
an inmate at Ossie. This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Hey there.
Hey.
Hey. Hey, the guard just let me know that she's going to need the phone back in about 5 minutes. I think someone else wants to make a call.
Okay.
So this will have to be brief. Probably the last one of the night, but I'll push it till she needs it back.
All right. Well, better than nothing.
Yep. So anyway.
Waiting for you to call back was long.
What's that?
Waiting for you to call back seemed like forever.
Totally.
Then it just goes by quickly when you call.
Yep. Same for me. Time creeps by when I'm waiting to call back, and then just slides by real quickly when we're talking there. Just like I said, just like my breaks at work, 15 minutes is never quite as long as you think it is.
Yeah.
But
hey, how's your eyes? Do you need reading glasses?
if I did, I don't know what kind I would need. For now, they serve their purpose. But even my attorneys noticed at some point that I did seem like I had to kind of squint to look at what I was reading.
Okay.
I think it just depends on how tired I am, how strained my eyes are, all that. But yeah.
What do they have provisions there to provide reading glasses, or what?
Yeah,
or can you have reading glasses?
You can get reading glasses off the commissary, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why don't you check into that and see which ones work for you? And I guess that's the only place you can get them, right?
Yeah, probably. But that would be a matter of trial and error because they have like 3 or 4 different magnifications, I think, and I have no idea which I would need.
Well, try 150, 1.50, and then go to 175, and see which works.
Yeah, I guess I could.
I mean, can you try them on?
I think you have to buy them. I don't think you get to try them. There's no way to make the order and pay for it and then like send it back,
Well, what if they don't work? Can you send them back?
He just said he can't.
I don't know how that works. I could ask somebody, but I'm not sure.
Okay, we'll find out. How much are they?
Like $3 or something like that.
$3?
Something like that. I'm not sure.
What are they, like paper 3D glasses?
They're plastic.
Well, yeah, I'm just being facetious.
Yeah, they could be more. They might be $4 or $5 or $6, something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
Yeah, could be even $12. I don't remember. I mean, I saw them, but I don't remember how much the price was.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
How you doing with your stuff that you got from the commissary? You have enough to
He's fat and sassy.
Yeah, I've got enough coffee, hard candies, and saltine crackers to last me through the end of the month here.
That's a couple more days.
Yeah, the other snacks kind of went faster than I expected them to, so I think from now on I'm just going to stick to coffee, hard candies, and saltine crackers.
Yeah, well, once you get your books, you'll have something to occupy your time.
Yeah, but hard candies, saltines, and coffee, those have seemed to give me the best bang for my.
Okay. All right.
Chips and things like that, the pickles and all that, it just doesn't last the way you want it to.
Yeah. Okay.
It's hard to have just one per day,
I'm Amelia from Cool Crutches, built by me, powered by Shopify.
Bloody ads.
We have a match.
The bloody ads.
From the DNA in the leg and the spine. So his name is Gerard Samuel Cooper, and he was reported.
Let's just hope that, Stephan's not having the best time. And his parents, obviously at this point, when they made the calls, I don't know what they did know, what they didn't know. But given everything and the kind of information that, the kind of information that had been kind of coming out, and obviously with what the police have kind of said, now no innocent till proven guilty and all that. But at this point, they're seeming overly helpful and caring. But I go back to that. I don't know if they're trying to keep him on side, get information, get him talking, although he's not talking too much. He's very aware that he shouldn't be talking too much.
Yeah.
Especially with the meals like they are. And, you never feel full after a meal, so you always feel like in your stomach, especially after dinner, because that's around 6 or 7. And then there's nothing else until like 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So, and me,
well, you've had a lifetime of snacking all night long.
Yeah, well, plus my metabolism doesn't help.
Yeah. So.
See, what's really killing me though is my back and my hips.
The bed.
Yeah, the quote unquote bed. Your bones can break through and rest on the floor underneath. So it hurts hips, and then your knees are resting against each other, and it's tough.
Yeah.
When the lights are on in these pods and suicide watch and medical, the lights are always on overhead, and so they're real bright. So you try to find a way to block it out, and any way you lay is just terrible.
Yeah.
And you get all the debris from the floor that ends up on your mat and your blanket, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Just really keep hoping that something's going to break in my favor with this trial.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I have to have hope about something, I have to maintain some sort of hope, otherwise I've got nothing.
Yeah.
I've always given my guardian angel one.
Well, you've been there. You've been there for what, 3 months now?
Yeah, at the end of this month it'll be 3 months.
March, April, yeah, 3 months. So.
Well, like I said, the whole process could take 2 or 3 years before it's concluded. So, and I've already been told that if the prosecution is smart, that they'll drag it out as long as they can.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going to happen? So just keep hoping we can find something.
Well, as soon as you get some reading material and we know that arrives safely, then we can arrange for other stuff.
Yep. That will be good, having my own little mini library with stuff that I like to read, instead of just what,
So when they move you from cell to cell, how do you move your stuff around?
I toss it all in my blanket, close my blanket up, fold my blanket up into my mat, and then that's it.
Oh, they move you, blanket and mat.
Yep. Typically they'll move me with the mat, but if they don't, I'll take my blanket and everything and just hope that they clean the mat in the new cell well enough, which last time they did not.
Yeah. Right.
I found a whole wad of spit underneath at one time.
Yeah, so you get to, well, you should, maybe you can complain to management.
No.
Yeah, well, I'll be sure to include it in my Yelp review.
Yeah.
1 star, accommodations suck, food terrible.
Yeah. Well, the idea is not to be there, but but too late for that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Stephan, I could never have imagined that we would all be in this situation. I just couldn't. There's no way I could have ever even.
We love Goose Day. Tasty, nutritious meals for the whole family to enjoy. Finally, meal planning without the faff. Discover Goose Day's biggest menu ever with 500 recipes.
Visualize this. This is awful.
Yeah, me either, to be honest.
Well, I mean, things kind of went sideways, whatever happened with, so you knew that was going to go down a rat hole.
Yeah, well, I never in a million years that she would not be around anymore, so.
Yeah. So once that went sideways, whatever happened, that was all she wrote.
Yeah, well, I can handle a lot of things.
What's that?
I said, Bill has not been heard from except for an interview she did with a newspaper where she told everybody that she did sleep with you guys and she said to sleep with you in the other room.
As I was going to say, I can handle a lot of things, but one thing I just can't reconcile or figure out in my mind or wrap my head around is the fact that, doesn't get to live anymore. There were a lot of things that I wanted to see for her, She had another year or so before high school. Learning how to drive, figuring out what she wanted to do with her life. I was excited to see where she was going, I was really impressed with the person that she was finally growing into.
Well, got a whole lot to talk about. A lot to own up to.
Well, again, I know you can't talk about this, but it's like, it almost sounds like you didn't know something had happened to her.
Well, I discovered her, in the state that she was in after everything was said and done. So, obviously I can't get into detail, but no, I was not aware that she had, passed on. As you know, I'm up and down throughout the night, and, I was not in the room the whole time. And it's not like you just suddenly feel someone's ghost pass away from them, it's a discovery. And,
so she wasn't even in the same room with you?
Well, she was in the room that I started in, but, I'm up and down throughout the night, and I tend to wander around the house and fiddle around on my phone and step out front and feel the nice, cool night air and all that. So I was gone from the room for, I mean, obviously I really can't get into too many details, but
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't discover what had happened until just around dawn.
Okay.
That was
Interesting.
because I discovered that she was ice cold.
Well, all I can say, Stephan, is that my heart breaks for you because I know that's something that you never would have done and never would have wanted to have done to her.
Damn
and
right.
Neither would we.
Damn right.
I'm angry on your behalf that it happened, and I'm angry that you got dragged into it by them. So I'm just angry.
Was there anybody else at the townhome that was not a regular person?
No, which is why I keep saying that I'm not sure that there's any one person honestly to blame, but they're certainly trying to blame me. And according to the autopsy report, like I said, raises a lot more questions, but they seem to be settling on trying to say it's homicide. Like I said, it has something to do with bones in her throat, but take that to mean what you will.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
But I would never have done anything like that.
No. Yeah. I mean, you're the same person that cried when I asked you to dispatch a little bird that broke its neck or something and was flopping around.
Yeah, same person that cares about people, cries at movies.
Yes, I know.
And then there was Skippy.
Skippy, yeah. Rue. Jaybird, yep, I remember them all. Burying them was very hard for me.
Yeah.
And
all I know, Stephan, is when I look at a picture of you and I look into your eyes, I don't see a monster there. I don't see a bad person there. I see my son who I love. That never will change.
Well, thank you. And I know that I'm not a bad person or an evil person or a monster.
No. But you do need to dive into the Bible head first and stay in it because you need grace. You need God on your side as a warrior on your side.
I keep asking him to help me through this somehow. I know that
And you still don't have a Bible?
I have a Bible. I have a King James version.
Okay. Well, we're looking into getting your large print Bible. So I want to make sure that this delivery gets to you, and then I can order one from the publisher and get it to you large print, so you won't need glasses.
Well, hopefully it does. We have no idea how often they pick it up or how long it'll take to get here and get sorted and get delivered, if it does at all. But I haven't received any written notification of anything being returned yet, so.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll judge it from there, and so we'll just make sure that we're timing this right. So the Bible will occupy the majority of your time.
Yeah, I keep praying to God for help, for some kind of miracle. I mean, I know I've probably run up my divine credit as far as miracles go with my guardian angel and God working in overtime to keep me alive as long as they have. But I keep hoping for one more big miracle, one big salvation, and
have you got some way to keep a
guardian angel? He ain't got no guardian angel.
Journal of notes that you would take from reading the Bible?
I can get a pad of paper off the commissary, and I can get more pens and stuff too. I think my commissary is about negative $10 by this point, but I know I can get a pad of white ruled paper off of there.
Okay. So do I need to replenish the commissary yet, or wait? If
you want to, yes. But I'm not going to use it on snacks, just on essentials for now.
All right, how much do I need to put in?
$50.
Okay. All right.
It's going to be dropped down to 40 like immediately.
Okay. All right.
We're about to get cut off.
We're just about out of time.
Yep, I'll talk to you later. I love you both.
I love you. All right.
Bye.
Let's move to the next one after we've listened to this Chewy bollock.
Press 1 for English. The time is 8:52 p.m.
If you believe that you are the victim of sexual or physical abuse.
The time is
Oh, God's sake. Hang on a minute, guys.
8:09 p.m.
If you believe that you are the victim of
star 9021. Press 1 to place a call. Press 2.
Hopefully we've got it
Please
now.
enter your PIN number followed by the pound sign. After the tone, please say United States of America.
United States of America.
You have 1 old message. To listen to your messages, please return to the main menu. Press 0 to make a for calls within the United States, Canada, and the Caribbean. Please. Your account balance is $29.05. The cost of this call will be 21 cents for the first minute and 21 cents for each additional minute, excluding taxes and other applicable fees. The time limit is 15 minutes. Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from
Stephan Stearns.
Stephan!
Osceola County Corrections Department.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking.
Hey, is this a good time?
Hola. Yeah, I was on the phone with somebody else, and first time you called in and inadvertently hit the wrong button. Hang on, I'll put you on speaker. Hang on. Okay, I got you.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hey.
He's in as well.
He's always in the well.
Yeah.
He's in a big room.
Yep, very echoey. Oh.
Did you get any of the books we sent yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
But I don't have any notification of anything being sent back either. I had
Okay.
a
All right.
meeting with the mental health director a couple days ago. She said they're going to step me down, take me down a step in custody level. So I'm going to be taken off non-acute status, and as soon as a space opens up in one of the regular isolation cells, I'll be moved to one of those.
Okay, good.
Does that mean that we can get a document to you and we can get it signed now?
Possibly. She said they won't put any restrictions on me.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. And when is that supposed to happen?
What's that?
Well, when is that supposed to happen?
Whenever a space opens up in one of those cells.
Oh, okay. All right.
She's on space. This is a very crowded jail. There's over 2,000 inmates.
All right. And you'll still be in kind of isolated protection?
Yep, I'll still be in protective custody. I'll still be by myself. I just won't be under self-harm watch.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I won't be in any of the self-harm pods.
Okay.
So that's
all right. Well, I guess that's better accommodations. You'll have concierge services.
Not likely, but you know, I might actually have a rack to put my mat on, so I'm not going to be on the floor. Maybe I'll have a seat and a table. Who knows? But I won't be surrounded by crazies all the time.
Okay.
Or relatively so.
All right.
That should be an improvement at least.
All right. Sounds good.
Yep. Any other news or updates on your end?
No. Everything's still status quo. Somebody sent us a link to a
Moms, don't use this natural Manjaro for more than 33 days or your partner will become obsessed with your body.
YouTube video that, I mean, these amateur sleuths just are relentless. I mean, they just go down any and every path they can go. And so this link to this YouTube video had tracked all your internet activity and all the sites that you had joined.
Dark web.
The dark web, whatever, but some of the offbeat websites. So I'm sure you know what I'm referring to without me having to name them.
Okay.
So I'm just telling you that all that should exist out there. And oh, by the way, you know, I sped through this 2-hour YouTube video, and your former roommates at the townhome that you rented have ratted you out in ways and fabricated stories about a shared network drive and video that had been recorded and supposedly approached your mother about them, threatening to disclose you in these videos and that we paid them off, which was total bullshit. We've never heard about this until these videos and these asshole friends of yours have managed to get themselves on these YouTube channels and disclose all sorts of shit. Because I can tell you this, if any one of them, and we know who we're talking about, had come to us with that, we would have told them, feel free to do whatever you want. We're not paying you jack shit. If somebody had done something, I suggest you pursue it with them or the authorities, but don't bring this up to our attention ever again. I can assure you that we would not have paid off anybody. It wouldn't have been our problem, and we wouldn't have paid for it, period.
So my former roommates are trying to blackmail you into paying them off?
No. They're claiming that they had supposedly come to us and blackmailed us and that we paid them money, which they've described it in two events, one at a restaurant and then your mother supposedly showing up at the townhome and with a manila envelope. And you and I know, and we all know, that is bullshit.
Yeah.
Didn't happen, didn't exist, never did it.
It never happened.
And if they had done that, I would have said, go ahead and do whatever you want. You're not getting a penny from me. It's not my problem, so don't even come to me with it, period.
Are they aware that blackmail and coercion is also illegal?
Well, it's kind of a moot point when you're looking at the number of years ago this was. And right now, it's their word, it's hearsay, but I'm just telling you what these amateur sleuths are repeating. Matter of fact, they even said that we owned the townhome, which we didn't.
We've been living in $1 million homes, and you were a spoiled, rotten kid because of it. And I'm thinking, we've never been in a $1 million home.
But anyway, I'm just telling you the bullshit that goes on out there, which is why I don't pay attention to these YouTube videos. But I'm just telling you, your former roommates have, done a nice job of sabotaging or discrediting your character and what have you. So everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, throwing you under the bus and what have you. But I'm just relating this story of that's been repeated a few times about some video being recorded in the townhome, and that they came to us requesting, and we pleaded with them not to disclose it, and we paid them off, which is just absolute bullshit.
You should be very careful about that because they're seriously opening themselves up to a lawsuit for defamation.
Well, it takes money to sue somebody, and you have to prove it, and so no one's going to take a case like that pro bono, and it's not worth chasing. And you have to prove damages, and we haven't suffered any damages. But I'm just telling you the bullshit that's floating out there.
Get ready for spring with Amazon Spring Deal Days. Up to 45% off on electronics, home, sports and more. Amazon Spring Deal Days ends midnight.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, you know, they've done their search and they've discovered some of these websites that you've subscribed to, participated in, or what have you. So I'm just giving you a heads up that they are leaving no stone unturned as they go down a rat hole chasing this shit.
Crazy.
Yep. Yep.
Well,
don't even try to figure out why they did it, because we can't figure out why they did it, except
Who did it?
the roommate.
Okay. All right, we moved on past that.
Yeah, but the thing is that these YouTube sites give people a chance to talk with complete immunity, because they never check them, they never fact check them, they don't care about the facts, they just care about getting people to click on and pay them money for the YouTube site. So. And
supposedly these hosts of these YouTube channels pay these people to provide this information as well. So whatever that's worth.
And some roommate.
Oh yeah, the roommate. That's really funny. So reading this interview of the former roommate said that both you and were grossly overweight, and you both had
gastric
bypass. I mean, I'm just telling you, this shit is just what? I don't. They didn't disclose her name, okay? But you know, to say that you had gastric bypass, which you've never had, and that you were grossly overweight, which you never were, again, is the bullshit that's just floating out there on these YouTube channels.
Wow. Had gastric bypass, but
Yep.
it's not a big deal these days.
Understand. But they're saying that you had it, you know?
They're saying that she refused to take her bipolar meds, which she was very forgetful, you know, and didn't do a lot. But they were saying that it was not ADHD, but they thought she was autistic. And like going, no, she wasn't.
Well, it was a question mark. You know, you had one doctor saying that she was possibly on the spectrum, another saying, no, it doesn't seem like it, she's just ADHD. And other doctors didn't know. So it was a question mark.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a three-ring circus out there with these YouTube channels, which is why I don't watch them. Your mother doesn't watch them, but every now and then somebody sends us a link to something. And like I said, I sped viewed it and, you know, came away with a little bit of information and a lot of bad information, misinformation, inaccurate information, but it is what it is. And so I'm not going to bother with it. You know, you have to consider the source and the validity of it, and everybody's highly speculative about whatever they come across, and then they try to make something monumental out of it that just doesn't exist, you know.
I don't know how they can even find jurors that haven't listened to some of this crap.
Yeah.
They can't.
It's tainted. It's tainted. The whole thing is tainted now.
Yeah, they might have to shop it out to a different venue, but even at that point, I think it's going to be hard to find anyone who hasn't heard about all this.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. And the minute they do hear about it, they're going to go in, and even though they're not supposed to, they're going to go in and check the internet, and they're going to see these things. They're going to believe this stuff because they don't know the difference between truth and non-truth.
Fact and fiction.
Yeah. And there's nothing, you know, if I go in and say, you know, you people are idiots. You know this never happened, and I can't do that because it won't do you good.
You don't want to engage with it.
So, don't want to give them. They're not worthy of the merit of any comments, and they can just enjoy themselves. And then when the truth comes out, then you know they'll have to do a lot of backtracking. Yeah, right. Okay, sure. But anyway,
I will tell you this, Stephan. You know that we're saved people. You know that we're Christians, and you know that these people came to us many times for help in their living situations, and you know that we helped all of them. I don't understand why these kids think it's so wonderful to jump on this bandwagon and crucify us when we were there for them when they needed us. I don't understand that.
Well, it's because we have fallings out for various reasons, and they can't resist the temptation to kick me while I'm down because they think they can do it with impunity.
Absolutely.
They didn't have the balls to do it while it was free.
What's that?
So they didn't have the balls to do it while it was free.
Yeah.
Well, they were jealous. You know who was always the one with the little, very, very something on his back, the mouse. He was always so jealous of you. He was so jealous of you. And
he sabotaged me at every turn. I mean, if you remember when I was working Quiznos, I was in lines for management, so he started working there. Then suddenly everyone's attitude towards me changed, and he became a manager.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he does.
And, there were people in our friends group who, for some reason, were under the impression that I was a complete moron.
Well, they should check your IQ score.
Well, I know he was backstabbing and trying to put himself above me at every opportunity.
Yeah.
Found out a while back that he was even stealing my possessions and selling them.
Like what?
Airsoft guns. I mean, my street board went missing. A lot of my Pokemon cards went missing. There's the one missing.
What you're talking about when you got the roommates, he was stealing your stuff and selling it?
Yep.
Well, no surprise.
Nope.
I believe that.
He needed to support his lifestyle somehow, and did the same thing with his parents' crap too. So.
Yeah.
What else?
I know he peddled his dad's pills.
Yeah, he was a first class citizen. We all know that, which is why he got kicked out of his house.
Yep. And anyway, I'm going to call you back in 15 minutes if I can, because we got the 1 minute thing.
All right, later.
All right, bye.
I like the new arrival.
Oh, I'm going to say
Press
Don't know
1
what's
for
going on
English.
here,
Time
guys.
7.
Hang on. Let's get rid of that. What?
Press 1 to place a call. Press 2 to please enter your PIN number followed by the pound sign. After the tone, please say United States of America.
United States of America.
You have 1 old message. To listen to your messages, please return to the main menu. Press 0 to make a for calls within the United States, Canada, and the Caribbean. Please.
I think we've just done that one.
Your account balance is $25.90. The cost of this call will be 21 cents for the first minute and 21 cents for each additional minute, excluding taxes and other applicable fees. The time limit is 15 minutes.
We'll find out in a minute. Hang on. Because they're all 16 plus minutes like long.
Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from
Stephan Stern,
an inmate at
Osceola County Corrections.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, I'm back.
Yay.
So, spent the last 15 minutes thinking about these yahoos.
They aren't worth the time.
Can't believe that. Well, it's true. For all of them that they would try to do this kind of.
You know, these are the same ones that came to you for help and were always saying what a good friend you were, and you would keep all their secrets for them and stuff. But yet they don't have any secrets of yours. They'll make them up just so that they can make themselves sound big on YouTube.
Yeah, we have them.
It's a sad situation when people are.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Sorry, guys, I haven't got my mouse pad. Fire me. Wait, why has that not done that? Hang on.
If you believe that you are the victim of sexual or physical abuse,
press star 9021 after this message. Press 1 to place a. Please enter your PIN number. After the tone, please say United States of America.
United States of America.
After the tone, please say again United States of America.
United States of America.
You have 1 old message. To listen to your messages, please return to the main menu. Press 0 to make a for calls within the United States. Your account balance is $22.75. The cost of this call will be 21 cents for the first minute and 21 cents for each additional minute, excluding taxes and other applicable fees. The time limit is 15 minutes. Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from
Stephan.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking.
Hey,
Hi.
Hey,
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, just getting back to what I was saying, just faith and trust, and, message received.
I guess if there's one thing that we wish for is that you had come to us sooner. That you had come to us and let us know what was going on.
Well, unfortunately, I was suffering from a bit of cowardice.
Yeah, but hindsight's always 20/20, and can't do anything about it now. But this thing,
it's bigger because of it.
It's a bigger problem because of that, and again, not sure what would be any. I'm sure there would be some things different if you had chosen that path, because there's obviously nothing we could have done without. Well, there's nothing we could have done. I mean, there was only one choice, but we could have talked our way through this. I mean, the phone call that you made to me earlier in the afternoon, if you had at least shared that, we could have talked our way through that and figured out a much better solution than whatever whatever you guys came up with, because none of that was believable. And I was thinking earlier today or yesterday that somehow I feel that you were forced into this, and I don't know, and that's just my speculation, that you were compromised and you were forced to participate in this, and as soon as you got away from the rest of them, you should have called me, and we should have and could have discussed this, and the outcome would have been a lot different than what it is right now. But
I don't want to get your hopes up, and as I said, don't get carried away with any conspiracy theories, but in a way I was compromised, and, when all that stuff was happening, I was not in my right mind anymore.
yeah, well, I understand that, and that's when you probably should have just called me and said, hey, I've got a bit of a situation here, and
it would have been a rational thing to do, but at that point I was no longer capable of rational actions or thoughts.
Yep, I understand. Yep.
I'm capable of it. I had no control over my faculties anymore. It's like the motor was running, but there was a screaming chimpanzee behind the wheel.
Yeah.
I understand that. I don't understand lack of emotion.
Yeah, I don't know.
It wasn't like she was catatonic. She was talking in a normal voice. The only thing that showed any emotion at all was jiggling her leg, but she did that anyway. So
yeah,
she was anxious because she was lying to her teeth. That's okay.
Don't get your hopes up for any conspiracy theories or vast conspiracies. Just understand that anything I did was not done while being within my rational mind. I had snapped at that point. And I wish I had done the correct thing to begin with. I wish I had run downstairs and shaken her awake and called 911 and all that. And
Nada, zilch, zip. For a limited time only, pay no joining fee at Pure Gym. So don't miss out. With no contracts and 24/7
Just in case you wanted a gym,
sponsored
sponsored by Pure Gym.
Join Pure Gym today.
Turn your ideas into videos.
Oh, come on now.
Go
I
to
need to get
artlist.io
the premium
and get
back
everything
packages.
you need all in one place.
Well, I wish you had too. I wish you had too. Maybe she could have been saved, but
she was beyond that.
Okay.
When someone's that ice cold and just.
So here
she was in a different part of the house.
He's describing finding Madeline disgusting.
She wasn't with you?
Well, she had gone to be with me earlier in the night, but I'd left her alone for quite a while I was sort of just walking around and, haunting around the house like I do. Sometimes I go out for walks at night, or I'll just sit on the couch and just fiddle around on my phone, or just, I don't sleep well at night, especially when I've got to be up early and do something the next day.
Yeah.
And that was the case. So every time I realized anything was wrong, it was.
She was in a different part of the house when you found that out.
She was still upstairs.
Oh, she was upstairs. Okay.
Yeah, I left her alone there.
So is he trying to make out he just stumbled upon her?
I had gone downstairs for a while, and every time I realized anything was wrong, it was just far too late. She'd been gone for a while.
Yeah. Okay.
Just seeing her pale face and blue lips and how ice cold she was, and it's crazy.
I was going to stay with you.
Accidentally found her that way and then thought, oh, bollocks, I need to get rid of her.
I remember seeing my brother when he had passed away, and that's the last thing I remember seeing of him. And so.
Yeah, it's just, you can tell.
Yes, you can. My dad, yeah.
It's just, when they're gone, really, really, truly gone, there's nothing you can do. There's no coming back.
Yeah.
No, there isn't.
She was past the point of no return.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, given the crazies of the grandmom and already starting to call her a Gordo, she would have been the next one on the list for gastric bypass, but I just think, maybe God just delivered her out of a place that was going to become really bad for her.
I mean, I always knew that life was going to be hard for her. Her mom certainly didn't do her any favors, and since I had no say in the matter of how she was raised or disciplined or anything, there's nothing I could do about it but sit back and watch the train wreck as it unfolded.
Yeah, and she's trying to tell everybody that it was a little angel and she had no problems with her, and you were already telling us that they were butting heads like two Rocky Mountain rams.
Yeah, they got physical on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, I figure they did that again. But okay.
I often played mediator between the two of them because I was the only one that could talk either of them down when they started going at it with each other.
Yeah, I know.
Where were the roommates when all this is going on?
Upstairs, doing their own things.
Was all that screaming and yelling and crap going on?
Yeah,
I'm surprised
it's kind of, honestly, it wasn't that far out of place in that house. Was often given to yelling or loud crying or outbursts, and it was given to yelling and screaming and coming down on people. It was happening a lot more and more often, which is why I kept trying to tell you, I think maybe your meds are becoming less effective. It seems like you're becoming more erratic and more unstable. It seemed like the more stable I became, the more unstable she became, like we switched places.
Oh,
well, I always told you she was a black hole to need.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing to do about it now, but what I hate the worst is that she's sitting in a hospital having 3 meals a day, clean sheets, television, access to phone, reading, walking around free, taking a shower by herself, and you're sitting where you are.
Yeah, I guarantee her food's probably a lot better than mine.
Oh, I guarantee there's a lot of stuff that's better than yours.
She sounds so bitter.
It'll all come out in the wash.
Yeah,
well. It'll come out in the wash.
Hopefully.
A very, 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 very slim chance of doing anything about any of this, and I'm praying to God and asking for His help to make it possible, but...
Well, how about giving up the chivalrous part and lay some truthisms on?
What's that?
I said, quit being so chivalrous and protective and start laying some truth bombs on her. There's truth bombs there.
Maybe none as groundbreaking or bombastic as you might hope for, but there are some truths there, some ugly truths and some not so pretty truths, but I guess I reacted to everything the way I did because I wanted to shield her. I wanted to keep her from getting any blowback or anything, but
you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have, because that left them only one person to lay everything on. That was you.
Yep. And I should have just done the correct thing from the get-go and let the chips fall where they may. But I couldn't stand the idea of losing them both horribly like that. And I lost them both anyway, so it was pointless.
Yeah.
There was just so much agony and so much pain, so much shock, and so much trauma. My mind was just not... It wasn't me anymore. I wasn't in control of myself anymore. I was doing things that I wouldn't do. I wasn't acting or thinking rationally. It was just panic and fear and...
Irrational
fear. I can't imagine.
You know, Stephan, I can't help but get the feeling that none of this that was on the phone was a surprise to you.
She was aware that I had certain feelings towards me.
Yeah. Well, then why was she send her in there to sleep with you?
She used to joke about it, call it an electrocomplex. Used to joke and say, you better not leave me for my daughter when she's older, things like that. Laugh about it, and they used to both ogle over me and comment on me and talk about me together and giggle and.
Oh, really?
Talk about how nice I looked, and it was.
Oh.
It was not an appropriate situation.
No, it wasn't.
And always had an issue with boundaries.
Is he at this point trying to put the blame on Maddie now because he's trying to say that she used to say how good he looked? I mean, you would expect it from Jen, the love of his life, to comment on his appearances, but now he's saying obviously that they both did it, and I think we're going down the victim blaming road.
She never respected any boundaries that I tried to set. We got in arguments on more than one occasion about the sleeping arrangements, so I would beg her, please make her go sleep in her own room. And she said, no, it's easier this way for me to wake her up when she's near me. And it's like we didn't have any privacy, and just didn't have any space to ourselves. And she would suggest, well, maybe you should go sleep in bed instead. And it's like, it's like a twin bed, and I'm 6+ feet, and no. Why would I want to do that instead of sleeping in our king size bed? I should have broken up with her a long time ago and just distanced myself.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Sure, what occurred? Hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah, it seems to be my superpower. Useless superpower. Captain Hindsight.
Well, you certainly didn't appreciate it when I told you that.
No, I certainly didn't.
I think I figured out why I keep getting ads.
Kid trying to make their own way or have their own ideas and realizing only too late, how valuable their parents' advice really was.
It seems.
Yep. Well, this is a shit show that rivals a pigsty.
Yeah, this is not something that you recover from.
None of us will ever recover from this. Ever.
1 minute remaining.
Just not recoverable. Okay, you got your 1 minute warning, and they're probably not going to give you a fourth run at this.
Yeah, someone's screaming in the background right now, too.
Oh, I could hear screaming.
Okay, honey, I hear them. So, you going to try to call back tomorrow?
Let's see.
Yeah, I'll see if I can call back in the next couple of days. I've probably got about $18, $19 left on the phone account, and I've got like 17 cents left in the commissary account.
We'll try to do something about that.
Okay.
When do you need to have the commissary replenished?
What?
When do you need to have the commissary replenished?
Whenever you're able to, I guess. I did get a pad of paper, though.
Nice.
So as you can see there, I'm not actually logged in properly, hence the advert. So I do apologise about that. So what I'm going to do is we will pick it up from June the 2nd's call, because he's made quite a few. He made them May 26th, June 1st, June 1st, June 1st. He called and hung. Obviously he gets his time slot and then it goes and then he has to call back, it seems. So we'll pick it up and follow this through from June the 2nd. Obviously he's getting into a bit more of the details of the stuff. So we're kind of getting a picture of where this man is probably trying to go with this. Obviously making it look like, found her by accident, but it weren't really appropriate, was it? Because they kept calling me this and kept saying that this and all that sort of stuff. It's infuriating, isn't it? But we will be back. I will set another date and time and we will continue on with this. Yeah, you just can't get the stuff, and then the screaming in the background and that. So yeah, I will be back. I'll set the date and time, so look out for that, and then we will continue from June the 2nd to see what other rollicks Stephan Stearns spits out of his mouth. But obviously every day is another day closer to the trial. And just for you who do not know, Stephan Stearns has lost his argument for not having the cameras in the courtroom. So, or the media in the courtroom, also known as the cameras, and the public. So the public will be in there as well. So I am quite happy about that. So we will be back. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see the rest of you on TikTok later on, guys. Bye.